I'll start with a simple question. Are you bigger? You seem like a little bigger in the chest.
Taller or bigger weight-wise?
Yeah, weight-wise.
Probably since the season, I think I gained around 8 pounds. I'm like 222 right now, so kind of just want to hang here this way for the rest of the way.
Was there a reason you wanted to gain the weight? Or is it?
I mean, just bigger, stronger. Just any way you can improve physically. I think I improved explosiveness, speed-wise too. So obviously strength. Just getting ready for the season.
Have you noticed the difference when you're out on the field?
I'd say quickness my first step. I think I got more explosive. Like you said, size-wise, it's something you could just tell. Look in the mirror, you just look a little bit bigger, filled out a little bit more. Going into my junior season, so just a step in the right direction.
Kenny, how about the balance of putting on weight? Most of the time, people would think that would perhaps slow you down. Is there any adjustment with that?
As long as you're putting on good weight, you shouldn't see a change. If you feel out of shape, if you feel like you got to step slower, then you're obviously not putting on the right weight. I don't think that's the case with me. They put the tracker. We're doing conditioning stuff, and Coach Andrews likes the numbers that I'm putting up. So it's all good signs right there.
Kenny, how did you find out you'd be going to the Manning Academy?
I got a text from Archie Manning, kind of out of the blue. Pretty cool thing, pretty cool experience. Just said, hey, it's Archie. Want to invite you to come down to our camp, be a counselor. You get a workout with a lot of top guys, and obviously Peyton and Eli will be there. So obviously, he was not going to turn that down. I was really excited once I saw the text message.
How much of your time was spent as a counselor? How much of your time was actually spent learning from those guys?
When I think of the schedule, we had 2 practices. We'd have a morning practice where we would coach the kids. We'd have a second practice later in the afternoon where we were coaching. After that practice, we would have like an hour and a half workout. They'd set up 3 stations throughout the field, and we kind of would spend 20 minutes apiece on each station, and then we'd get with the receivers at the end and throw routes. After that, we'd coach 7-on-7. So really, you're only getting like a workout for an hour and a half time. Besides that, you were coaching, and then at night they'd have social stuff where we'd all go out together and just kind of be able to talk with everybody, other quarterbacks, Peyton, Eli, kind of pick their brains a little bit. So overall, it was a really great experience.
Do you feel like you were able to build a relationship with Peyton or Eli over those 4-day periods?
I'd say the guy I talked to the most was Peyton. We kind of clicked on, I'd say the first day we were just talking more. He saw me throwing the first day, and then at night we sat down at dinner, kind of talked for an hour. Really cool experience. Like I said, just kind of asking him questions and trying to soak up as much as I can from a guy like that. Really, I think it'll benefit me in the long run.
After he saw you throw, did he sit down with you and talk to you about some things you might be able to do better?
Really wasn't that. I mean, we were just talking about how to prepare, how to watch film. That was the questions I was asking. How he went through about his week, how he kind of streamlined the information he saw in the film room to bring out to the field. Talk NFL. What's the jump from college to the NFL? What's the big difference? Then we had a film session, not a film session, kind of a chalk talk thing on Saturday, I want to say, where all the players could ask him questions, anything we wanted, for an hour straight. And I took probably like 10 pages of notes, just didn't pick my head up once, was just asked a couple questions, had my head down, was just writing as much as I could down. So I'll save that notepad, and I can kind of look back on that stuff as the season rolls on.
Kenny, did any of this, has it changed your mindset in terms of confidence or your mentality heading into this season, that experience?
Absolutely, yeah. It definitely, gives you more confidence. You can see it's different watching other quarterbacks on film and watching other people on film, and then going out there and competing with them and throwing with them. So I know where I stack up, and I know where I'm at. In terms of more confidence, hearing Peyton Manning talk and getting as much information from him, and how I see things and how he sees things, and kind of somewhat being on the same page, it definitely gives you more confidence with how you prepare and how you go about your business come Saturday.
Who were some of the college guys that maybe you bonded with or talked to a lot throughout that week?
Really, I mean, everybody. I think that whole group really got together. No one stuck out really, that wasn't a good guy. Everyone was really cool there. I hung out with Fromm, Bentley, Martinez from Nebraska, JT from USC, Hornibrook, Ian Book. Off the top of my head, those are the guys. Jarrett Deggy from West Virginia, I think he just transferred there. He was my roommate, so got along with him really well. Burrow was in the other room, Joe Burrow, he was my other roommate. Really just hit it off with all those guys and got all their information. We hit each other up every once in a while. I'm sure we'll talk during the season, so yeah, it was great.
Is there any one specific thing that Peyton might have told you that might help you improve your game, specific thing?
There was nothing really specific. I mean, it's not so much mechanic. Everyone does things differently mechanically. I think once you get to this level, there's no right or wrong way to do things. Everyone has their own way that they feel comfortable with, and that's how they do it. Really, it's kind of what you do. It's between the ears. It's in the film room. That's where I think the jump is. It's not so much physically. Everyone that was out there could throw at the NFL level. Everyone has that NFL arm. But the thing that I feel like takes to the next level, to the next jump, is in the film room and knowledge, and how you can take the knowledge from the classroom and bring it out to the field and play fast. That was the big thing that I took from Peyton.
How did that sort of fit into what you were planning to do this offseason in general? What were you thinking that you wanted to work on, or thinking that you wanted to improve this offseason?
Really streamlining information that I watch in film. And when I break down a team just myself without the coaches, I take a lot of notes and I prepare really hard. And I think the thing that will help me out the most is streamline that information that I have, and not being overloaded with information, and being able to go out there and play fast. And that was the big thing that I talked to Peyton about. He gave me pointers and tips that I'm definitely going to use, and it'll help me out a lot.
In your workouts back here with your receivers and those guys, who's been sticking out, is maybe improving their game a little?
Honestly, I think it's definitely a group effort. I think, like you guys saw in the spring game, there was a lot of different guys making plays. But I think Trey Tipton really took a big leap this offseason. He was a guy that, when Coach Whip came in and we started going through the spring, you saw him taking, some steps towards the right direction. And as it went on, you saw him taking leaps and bounds that I haven't seen him take since I've been here. And he's an older guy that a lot of guys look up to, and that's going to help us out a lot.
What's it been like working with Coach Whipple?
It's been great. Me and him relate really well, get along really well. He's a really smart guy, kind of like Peyton Manning. I just want to soak up as much knowledge as I can from him to benefit me and our team the most when we go out there on Saturday against Virginia and throughout the season.
Did anything surprise you about the Manning Academy? Like any expectations or anything that you were just kind of surprised by when you were there?
I mean, nothing was really surprising. I just went in there with an open mind, and I just want to learn from whether it was Peyton, whether it was other quarterbacks there, just trying to learn as much as I can, and I think that's what I did. And like I've been saying, I think it's going to benefit me a lot, and just keep going back to seeing those notes and talking with those other guys and getting any information that I can that'll help our team and help myself this season.
Kenny, what did you take away from the counselor role as far as being a teacher and helping young kids?
It's definitely a lot different than when you're getting taught versus teaching. If you're teaching, you have to know your stuff really well. So when I was with a couple of the younger guys. I want to say I was 7th to 8th graders. So it's a fun age to coach. Young kids ask a lot of questions. They're really interested in learning, and they all were locked in. They really wanted to be there and get the most out of the camp. So I was in terms of teaching fundamentals, you want to be on top of your stuff and help them out as much as you can.
What's the vibe in the locker room going on right now as far as the expectations for you guys have for yourself this year?
Always have high expectations. Always have high expectations. That's never changed since I've gotten here. We've always had high expectations. Now it's just putting in the work and then going out there and doing it. So there's really nothing else to say.
Kenny, will you follow up with anyone from the camp? Will you stay in touch with them, or
Yeah, absolutely.
lean on them for anything?
Yeah, I'm sure. We're going to be playing a lot of the same teams, so I'm going to reach out to those guys that have played them already and see if they can help me out, give me any tips, any pointers that they saw, anything in the defensively that they wanted to exploit that they didn't do or what they did do well, just stuff like that. Absolutely.
Do you feel you have something to prove this year personally?
I always want to play well and play the best of my ability. It's really nothing to prove. It's kind of a personal thing, and I have my own goals. The team has our own goals as a whole, as a unit. So really just putting all the work in that I can and just going out there and playing hard come Saturdays.
What are some of your personal goals?
That's between me. You guys will find out sooner or later.
Had to ask, sorry.
All good.
What was your reaction when you look down at your phone and you see Archie Manning has texted you?
It was kind of like the Dan Marino text I got like 2 years ago. It's just kind of like you look you casually feel your phone buzz, you just look at it. You're expecting like a text from one of your friends or something. And it's like it says like Archie Manning across the screen. You're like kind of take a step back and you read it, and it's kind of surreal. It's been a crazy ride so far, and it's just been awesome.
Talking with guys that played in the NFL, obviously, talking with a lot of other quarterbacks that are hoping to play in the NFL. Is that part of your future, something that's maybe coming into a little bit more focus here as you become an upperclassman at Pitt?
I mean, that's down the road. It's really not what I'm worried about right now. I just focus on learning from those guys. I feel like it's the best thing that I can do. Obviously, that's the goal, but we're focused on this season. I'm focused on this season, being the best player I can be. And if I'm the best player I can be, then this team will do well. So that's just really my main focus.
Anything else for Kenny?